22nd regular board meeting. We'll get started today. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, Mr. Bizarre. Here. Mrs. Conforti.
Here.
Mrs. Hurst. Mr. Rivas. Here. And Mr. Cabral, myself is here. All right, item number 2, public communication, closed session items. Member of the public may address the board on the items not on the agenda. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes unless time limit is waived by a majority of the board. The board will allow comments by members of the public on agenda items during consideration of the item. The board may limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if have something new to add. Complaints against a specific district employee should be resolved through the district's personal complaint procedure. The right to address the board does not exempt the speaker from any potential liability or for defamation. The proceedings of the board are recorded and are part of the public record. At this time, does anybody in the public would like to address the board? Please step up to the podium and state your name. All right.
President Cabral, you just noted that trustee Hurst is now here.
Oh, okay. Ms. Hurst is not here. Present. All right, item number 3, closed session. As permitted by law, the board of trustees may request to meet in closed session for consideration of personal matters, possible or pending litigation, employee grievance, student discipline, and the acquisition of sites. The board is meeting with legal counsel to discuss a current correct demand from a member of the public dated December 6, 2023. All right, we're gonna go to closed session at 17:04. Okay, tonight we're gonna have a special guest visitor lead us in our flag salute. Ricardo, come on up, bud. Let's start when you're ready, bud.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Good job. All right, reporting out of closed session items. Item number 1, direction was given to legal counsel on the current correct demand. Item number 2, the board took action to issue notices of non-reelection to probationary certificated employee number 36035 pursuant to Educational Code Section 44929.21B, effective at the end of the 23-24 school year. And directed the superintendent or designee to send out appropriate legal notice. The roll call vote was as follows. Motion carries 5-0. Public communication, agenda and non-agenda items. Members of the public may address the board on items not on the agenda. Speakers may be allowed 3 minutes unless the time limit is waived by a majority of the board. The board will allow comments by members of the public on an agenda item during consideration for the item. The board may limit the total time of public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. Complaints against specific district employees should be resolved through the district's personnel complaint procedure. The right to address the board does not exempt the speaker from any potential liability for the defamation. The proceedings of the board are recorded and are part of the public record. At this time, any member of the public wish to address the board may please step up to the podium, state your name for the record, and the floor is yours. All right, seeing none. Approval of agenda.
I make a motion approving the posting of the agenda.
All right. Motion by Tim Bedard, second by Ms. Janice Conforti. Roll call vote. Ms. Hurst?
Here.
No, Approval agenda.
Aye.
Ms. Conforti?
Aye.
Mr. Bazaar?
Aye.
Mr. Rivas?
Aye.
And myself, Mr. Cabral votes aye. Motion carries 5-0. All right, we have item number 7, information and discussion items. Item number A for 7 is our student report by Ms. Grace Studer. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This past week at Oristimba, the junior class has been working hard planning winter homecoming. The theme is City of Stars from La La Land. Winter homecoming will be Saturday, February 3rd from 7 to 10 in the OHS cafeteria. The dress-up days are from January 29th to February 2nd. The dress-up days begin with Monday, Meet Cute, dress as a barista. Tuesday, La La Lost My Backpack, anything but a backpack day. Wednesday, Dreamy Duets, match or twin with someone. Thursday, me and Sebastian's theme, dress as piano keys. And Friday, Spirit Can Save Jazz, wear OHS Spirit gear. Last Tuesday, Healthy and Responsible Relationships Troop, also known as HEART, which is a school-based, youth-led relationship abuse prevention program, along with Haven Stanislaus, visited Oristimba during lunch so that students could participate in their Red Sand project to bring awareness around human trafficking. Last Wednesday, a new club called Friday Night Live was passed. This club has been around since 1984, and 50 counties in California have this club on their campuses. It originally was created to keep students occupied Friday nights with school activities because of the fatalities that occurred from drinking and driving, most of which happen on Friday nights. This club will maintain its Friday night tradition of student activities, but it will also expand its range to addressing and resolving school and community issues, and also mentoring the junior high school students. Last Friday, the Oristimba varsity boys basketball team picked up another league win against the Gustine Reds. The Warriors are now 6-0 in league with an overall record of 19-2. On to upcoming events. As the end of the year is quickly approaching, each vice president from every class, along with the student body president, will meet once a week beginning this week to discuss and plan prom, which is May 4th. There will be a financial aid night, January 31st, open for students and parents to attend to. On February 2nd, there will be a staff versus student basketball game. They're really entertaining, so I suggest you all go. It's only $3. Progress reports come out February 2nd, and parent-teacher conferences will be held February 8th. On February 9th, there will be a second cup of coffee at 8:30 in the library. On February 10th, the OHS NAMI will be having a Valentine's Day trip to the convalescent from 8 to 11. Also on February 10th, there will be a dedication ceremony at the OHS Gymnasium from 11 to 1. So please join us as we dedicate the OHS Gymnasium in honor of Coach Carrie McWilliams. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Item B, attendance awards, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, so for the last month of December, we have our ADA and least chronically absent going to Von Renner. Yep. And the staff award goes to Benita.
Item number C, alternative education spotlight, Mrs. Skibes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Liliana Esquives, and I am the principal at Alternative Education and Bonita Elementary. It's an honor, and I am very thankful for the opportunity to share some of the highlights that we've had so far this school year at our Alt Ed sites. I would like to start by talking about my team. And I know this is a great picture and it captured our best smile, but the reason why I decided to include this in my presentation is because this year we had 4 additions to our team, which included a second teacher for Westside, a campus supervisor, an instructional aide, and a counselor. These additions have helped us increase our school safety and our student support. Thank you. We are currently running 4 programs. We have our Westside Valley High School for credit recovery. We have our Foothill Community-Based School for students who are struggling a little bit with their behavior at a larger site and just need a smaller school setting. Wait, getting ahead of myself. We also have our independent study program for students who work independently at home and check in with their teacher once a week or as needed. And we also have our adult education program for adults who want to earn their high school diploma. We offer English as a second language classes in the evening. And we also offer Microsoft Office certification classes in the evening. Just to share some quick data, this year we've had 10 students who already graduated from Westside and 9 who have returned back to OHS and want to earn their Oristema High School diploma. Yeah. We currently have 2 counselors at our site. We have Ms. Brittany Salazar, who oversees the social and emotional support for our students. We share her with Benita, so she's there part-time and comes our way 2 days. She does individual sessions with students and also does classroom presentations during the school day. And we also work with Ms. Sylvia Vargas, who works at Oristema and comes supports our students as well. She checks in with them and monitors their academic progress and how they're doing for graduation. For parent engagement, we had 2 main events. Last semester, we had our back to school event, and we also hosted our meet, greet, and eat evening. We had a great turnout. As you can see in the pictures, we got to enjoy some good food and got to connect with each other. It was fun. We also had a special treat for our students and staff. We were lucky to have Mr. Gonzalez, who was the principal last year. He had to come back and barbecue hamburgers, hot dogs, and linguiça sandwiches for everybody. It was a rainy day like today, but we still made it work and we enjoyed a great lunch together. For our future events, we will have a FAFSA workshop, junior college workshop, career day, and we're going to take a field trip. We still don't know where, but we're getting out of Newman for sure. And I wanted to share this picture because we have 2 students from Westside who are currently enrolled at Merced Junior College taking child development classes. Yes. And I'm going to conclude with this image. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is what we're doing. I took this picture in one of my classrooms. We are a small site, a small team, but when we come together, we work like a huge army. We provide all the resources and all the support that our students need to graduate from high school. Thank you. I would like to introduce Mr. Ricardo Virgen, who's going to share his experience at Westside. And no, there's no paper. You just tell him what we're doing. Say what are we doing at Westside?
Come on, dude, you got it.
Your day at Westside.
What day?
Every day. In the morning. What do you do in the morning when you get there?
Every day in the morning when I get to school, I walk to Mr. Lindsay's class just to chat up, before school starts. Mr. Lindsay's pretty cool. He's always been there for me when like I was struggling when I was younger, because when I was in middle school, I went to continuation school at Foothill. And Mr. Lindsay was always there to help me, so it's cool to be able to walk up in his classroom in the morning and just chat up with him if I like got any problems or anything, you know. After that, I headed to Miss Castillo's class and try and work on my work best as I can, you know. And if I got any problems, Miss Castillo's there helping me, you know, through it. Oh, yeah, Miss Denise. Miss Denise is cool. She's the front office lady in the front, and she's helped me out a lot. Like a lot. You know, if I ever got any problems, she's always there helping me. If I needed some soap, she got me with soap. If I needed clothes, she got me with clothes. You know, food, she got me with food. I don't really know much to say, but
What's your plan?
oh, my plan is to go back to OHS. You know.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Item D, board evaluation report for the 23-24 year. Does any members of the board have any comments on our board evaluation report? No. I don't. All right. Item E, governor budget update from Mrs. Mendoza.
Good evening. What? I was bringing that up. Okay, so I went to school services last week and I've heard several presentations on next year's budget. And you can go to the next slide afterwards. The initial takeaways is that Governor Newsom feels the deficit is not as large as he initially thought. I don't know what magic he did to make $38 billion disappear or reappear, but it's about $30 billion less than the legislative analysts projected over. And when they look at that, they look at the 3-year budget window. They look at the prior year, the current year, and the what we call the budget year. Last year is closed. They are not looking at taking any money back from last year, which is a good thing. And so he needs to figure out how to balance the spending in this year. So he's looking at doing several different components to this. He's largely left education funding alone, but there are going to be some long-term challenges ahead of us. So he's looking at drawing down reserves out of the Prop 98 reserve and the rainy day fund. He's looking at shifting some things around and some tax revenue proposal. Those are only proposals. They haven't passed yet. So those remain to be seen if the legislature will move forward on those. So there is an ongoing structural deficit that needs to be addressed. And he didn't really get into how he was going to address that long term. So that is a little concerning to me. So there is a cost of living adjustment. At first interim, I had lowered the projection down. It originally was around 4%. And at the interim, I based next year's projection on 1%. It looks like it might end up around 1%. 0.76 is a starting point. It's not the ending point, but they think it won't be any higher than about 1%. Cost of step and column is typically 1.5%. So, and that 0.76 has to cover all the escalated operational costs, electricity, gas, paper costs, things of that nature. There are some proposals to how we report attendance in that they'll allow us to do attendance recovery time for both, which will impact average daily attendance, which is what we're funded on, and chronic absenteeism reporting, which is on the dashboard. So it does require school districts to provide remote instruction or opportunities to enroll in neighboring LEAs if there was a natural disaster. or something that would force us to close down for more than 5 days. So TK is now expanding to all 4-year-olds by 25-26. That's been the plan all along, and next year it will go for 2 additional months for students who turn 5 between September 2nd and June 2nd. So they're rebenching Prop 98 to reflect the additional students. However, we don't know how much that's going to be or what that looks like yet. And it does not provide any additional funding for facilities or transportation. That's another big issue that people have been grappling with, is that we have to have TK and eventually preschool with very small ratios of 1-10 and no additional facilities to put them in. So there was no talk of any funding for additional pension reform, pension relief. There are staffing shortages statewide. As I said earlier, TK facilities and universal meals has been funded this year, and it will be funded next year. Beyond that, it remains to be seen. So that's what we know at this point. I'll be going to hear another lecture next week, and then as the trailer bills start to come out in February, we'll get some information on how to apply it to our district. Any questions?
Carolyn, with the opening of the pool and the servicing and whatever comes with it, how much of the budget has to be allotted to that? And have we thought of a way of possibly getting the city to help us?
The city kind of put the negotiations on hold until we have a new superintendent in place. But we will still be meeting with them. Matt's done a really good job of tracking the costs. We've had the heaters off now for quite a while because they're not using it right now, so that it's not accumulating a lot of chemical costs or any heat costs. So as long as we can mitigate that, but we had planned for that in this budget year, and we will ongoing as well.
Will the solar panels that we have help to heat the pool, or that's
No.
not? Okay.
No, because it's on a separate, because the solar was built for the capacity before the pool was built.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question. We get some special funding for students that we're bringing in from Patterson High School. And it's not the autism students, it's another group of students. Is that helping to offset some of these shortfalls?
Well, we receive, but we do a fee for service program for funding for the students that come into the high school from Patterson. So, I mean, it helps to offset that program. It's not 100% because the students are about half of the program. So we're putting in half the cost, they're putting in half the cost. So, but that's just special ed.
Okay.
Sure.
PK, and on the report that we get, that shows sort of our enrollment, this report. We already have, I think right now, 67 kids, it looks like, in TK. Are you anticipating next year having a substantially higher number than that? Is that?
No, not substantially. I would say probably, but maybe we'd have 80, 85.
Total?
So, yeah, and we have to do, this year is 1-12 ratio. Next year, I believe it goes to 1-10.
Okay.
So, and that's adults. It doesn't necessarily have to be teachers. So you could have 24 in a classroom as long as you had 2 adults, a teacher and an aide. So next year would be, we could have 20 in the classroom with a teacher and an aide. So we may have to open one more classroom. Right now, we're running a combination class at Bonita with TK in kindergarten, and that's going really well because then that helps the students not have to travel so far into town. And that's helped a lot with not having to open another classroom.
Well, this is a question, even though it sounds like I'm making a statement. Reading about some districts where the enrollment is falling, it seemed to me, and I want you to tell me whether I'm right or wrong, that having these additional TK kids actually helps us with their ADA. Because if not, we might see some type of dropping enrollment, just like other districts do.
Yes, and we are still projecting a decline. We're not taking into account any enrollment from the new housing, because we haven't seen any yet. But I watched the enrollment and the ADA several times throughout the year to see the trends and to see where we look like we'll be next year. So we are in a decline. This will be the third year of decline. What's saving us right now are the way that the state lets us report it. It takes a 3-year average. It takes the best of either current year, the prior year, or a 3-year average. Next year, the best year that we had right post-COVID falls off. So that's gonna be something we need to work with. But we will be watching the enrollment as this housing development comes online to see where we fall. Hopefully we'll come back up to where we were. And yes, and Von Renner has the highest attendance rate in the district.
TK students also have the highest chronic absenteeism rate.
Yes.
It's voluntary. The parents don't have to enroll them, and they tend to, TK in kindergarten, they have the highest. So they can affect our ADA negatively too, in the total. So it just depends.
Because yes, that's true, because you have to staff for it, but then if they're not showing up regularly, you're holding a spot for, you're staffing based on students that are chronically absent.
Sure.
So.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Ms. Mendoza? All right. Item number 8, consent calendar. Consent calendar items are routine in nature and usually do not require board discussion. Individual items may be removed by board members and presented for discussion and separate action. The consent calendar will be adopted by a roll call vote.
I'd move approval of consent calendar.
All right, second. Mr. Rosar,
Aye.
Ms. Conforti. Ms. Hurst. Mr. Rivas. Aye. And Ms. Corolla votes aye as well, 5-0. Item number 9 on the agenda is action items. We have a guest speaker to speak on action item A. Yanni Gonzalez, would you like to go to the podium?
Good evening, board members and human community. My name is Janet Gonzalez, and I'm a current senior mom as a son, and I had a son who graduated 4 years ago. I have been a part of the parents community at OHS for the past 7 years, and all this time I have been very active as a parent. I'm currently the DLEC representative at OHS. And with that, I'm aware that the district is currently looking for a new leader to represent our schools and community. I would like to mention some of the experience that as a mom with Mr. Prue, because I'm aware that he was one of the candidates. Mr. Prue was not only the leader for OHS, but he became that bridge between us, the parents, and our kids. For the past 7 years that I was there, or I have been there, he attended, I will say, 99% of the meetings with parents, listening to all our concerns and being able to provide answers for our questions. That is something that as a mom, I will always be thankful. Thank you, Mr. Prue. He created this connection with the students, and that is something that not every leader can make. In 2019, Oristimba became a model school to a national level, thanks to the amazing team that OHS had with the leadership of Mr. Prue and Mrs. Kivas. That is something that we have to remember. He is something that our district and community needs as a leader. We don't only need a new leader in the office pending the paperwork, but we also need a leader who cares about students and creating the connection between the students and all the parents. I'm sure the district will make the best decision for our community. But as a mom, I really want to share what my experience was for the past 7 years, seeing Mr. Prue as a leader of OHS. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, item A remaining, the board is asked to approve an employment agreement with Justin Pruitt to serve as the superintendent commencing January 22nd, 2024. In accordance with section 54953, the following is a summary of the employment agreement between the board and Mr. Pruitt. The term is for 3.5 years, January 22nd, 2024 to January 30th, 2028. The annual base salary is $202,552 and includes an annual salary increase with a satisfactory evaluation, a $1,100 per year master's degree stipend, an automobile reimbursement of $600 per month. The district will pay Mr. Pruitt's membership dues for the Association of California School Administrators and the American Association of School Administrators. Health and leave benefits are consistent with other district administrators. The annual work year is 225 days, excluding weekdays and holidays with no paid vacation. I am requesting a motion to approve the employment agreement and to grant me authority to sign the employment agreement. Can I have a motion on hiring Justin Pruitt as the next superintendent for Newman Crozan?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Tim Frank. Mr. Brazar,
Aye.
Ms. Conforti,
Nay, and I'm going to say why, and it may not agree with you, but being a democratic society, I'm allowed to do it. I am voting in the negative for Mr. Justin Pruitt for the superintendent of the Newman Crows Landing Unified School District because I feel there were more qualified candidates for this position with more experience. Mr. Pruitt has been at the district office only since August and settling into the rigors of Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. This is his only DO experience. I also plan to watch carefully the hiring or changing of positions in the district, as I hope there are not promises made during the selection process. Our district has a lot of healing to do, as this process was very contentious. I have almost a year to my tenure on the board and have no plans to run again, but the democratic process is important to follow. Our students are my #1 priority. We need the staff to also make our students a priority in this transitional phase. Our staff is deeply divided, but we need to work together to keep our school competitive.
thank you. Mrs. Hurst,
I also would like to preface my vote by saying that the unethical issue of students repeating courses to gain credits for graduation was under the leadership of the high school principal, Mr. Pruitt. He wishes to blame the vice principal, but he was still the leader. Therefore, he is not an effective leader, and I do not believe he should be leading this district. #2, Mr. Pruitt lacks the experience to be our superintendent. He has only 6 months admin experience in the district office level. We had far more experienced candidates, especially one that we lost due to the length of this contentious search because of an investigation that was occurring. Mr. Pruitt lacks experience to be Newman Crows Landing School District Superintendent. Therefore, I vote nay for Mr. Pruitt for our superintendent.
thank you. Mr. Rivas,
Aye.
and myself, Mr. Cabral votes aye.
Tim.
Tim already voted.
Tim didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
I just say congratulations. to Mr.
Motion passes 3-2. Well deserved. Item number 8, approve authorized agents for the Newman Crows Unified School District. Can I get a motion to approve the signatures needed?
We're supposed to stay after.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Tim?
I
I
second.
made a motion.
You made a motion.
Yeah.
and a second.
Jack, a second. Thank you. Mrs. Brazar,
Aye.
Mr. Forty,
Aye.
Ms. Hurst,
Aye.
Mr. Rivas.
Aye.
And Mr. Cabral, myself, will side 5-0. All right, item number 10, future agenda items.
Well, next, at the next meeting, we have a very short presentation of a musical. No, not 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Maybe. Okay, 7 minutes. Okay. And also OHS is the spotlight school on next meeting.
Thank you, sir. Item 11, superintendent report.
So I just want to say that this month is actually school board recognition month. So I'd like to recognize the school board for the work they do in this community. It also has been dedicated, this week has been dedicated as Kindness Week by our state superintendent of schools. Remind us to be kind to each other. And I just want to say that I am very grateful for the opportunity to once again have served the community of Newman Crow's Landing. This is an outstanding district, outstanding people. It's really close to my heart and always will be, but I am very happy to be retiring again. Thank you.
Board reports, Mr. Bizarre.
Well, I'm gonna again congratulate Mr. Pruitt. I wanted to say that I've had 4 children come through this school district. One was older, she's a nurse now, and but 18 years ago, my first of the 3 younger kids started in our district. All 3 kids have gone for all their undergraduate, or not undergraduate, all their kindergarten to elementary and senior year here in Forest Demba, and they've all had a great experience, honestly. And Mr. Pruitt was the principal just about all the time. I mean, some of the time he was the principal in the elementary school, some of the time he was principal as they followed up and as they grew up. He grew up with them, including to, you know, they all 3 went through the high school while he was the principal at the high school. So this is a democracy. We're elected school board members. We vote our conscience. There's nothing wrong with voting your conscience. But from my point of view, from my conscience, I know Mr. Pruitt to be an excellent leader, an excellent person to have at the school. I always felt my kids were safe. I always felt like somebody was looking out for them, not just them, but every kid that was at the school. And I appreciate that. And that's just one of the reasons that I voted to approve Mr. Pruitt as superintendent.
Ms. Hurst.
I must say, I like the Dr. Peppers back there. I didn't vote for you, okay? And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do my best, because I've been on the school board for 17 years. And the students have been at the forefront of my heart. And that's where those students will stay for the last year that I'm on this board. So that's it.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Conforti.
There we go. Again, I've been here and I voted against, but there are a lot of other things. This is my 52nd year being a teacher of some sort or in education. I think our district is an amazing district. I think our parents are amazing. And the one thing I do appreciate is that you accept when someone doesn't always agree. And the most important natural resource are our students right here, and we can't have them become extinct. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rivas.
First off, I want to say thank you to Mr. Philpott for coming out of retirement and handling the district for a short time. I did vote yes for Mr. Pruitt. Some people say they didn't have experience, but he's been part of this district for 30-something years, went to school here. Me and Mr. Cabral have kids in this school district. I have a 3rd grader who's gonna be here for the next 9, what is it? It's 3rd grade, I don't know, 9 years, 9 years, 8 years. So I wanted somebody that I feel comfortable with my son going to school. And Mr. Pruitt is, I feel personally, the guy for the job. And everybody in here is all about one thing, the kids. And if we all can't come together, like together and work together, not some people over here, the door's right there. Simple as that. But we need to come together as a district and do it for like Janice and Rose, Ken. Everyone here is for the kids. Simple as that. And I feel Mr. Pruitt is the right man for the job. So again, Mr. Pruitt, congratulations. Good luck. We're here for you if you need anything. And also come out. There's, I think Grace said there's a couple events coming up, but February 10th or Mr. Williams for the gymnasium. I'll be there hopefully.
I add one little thing. My favorite memory was you being taped to the wall. Okay? I just wanted to say that.
You done? All right. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Rivers. Last but not least, I guess I go my turn now. First off, this process was not short by any means. I do believe we worked on this for about 3 months. We listened to a lot of people. My belief is you do enough time in an organization successfully, known in any town, the community, everybody knows Justin. You go to every single event, everybody knows Justin. You see him riding his motorcycle around town, hey, that's Justin Pruitt. He successfully climbed the ladder at every single level for 30 years. To overlook him just because he only has limited experience at that next level is not right. Right? Every single job that we do together, we all start somewhere. But I tell you this, like kind of what Frank said, we have to go forward, right? All of us together in this room are here for what? The kids, right? That's why I joined this board. Okay. So if anybody has any issues with that, please come to the board meetings respectfully. And we'll listen to your comments, right? But there's no doubt in my mind that Justin cannot lead this organization going forward to the next level. All right. It was a tough decision. There was a lot of candidates. You know, we had to sort through a lot of stuff. We had to hear a lot of things, but in the end, you always want to go with the best candidate internally. He's do that. That's respect, you know. No doubt in my mind that he will lead this organization going further into the future at every level, and he's going to have a ton of support. We pay a lot of people to do their job. If you don't like doing your job, don't come here, right? But we're here for the right reason. Show up, do your job the best of your ability, go forward, go home, come back, do it all over again. It's the only way we're going to get better. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So, like I said, Justin, congratulations on the superintendency. You got my support. That's all I got. Before I adjourn the meeting for tonight, there is refreshments in the back. It's kind of a crowded room, so let's not act like a herd of cattle. Go through one door. Okay, there's cookies, all kinds of stuff over there. There's drinks, punch, coffee. And we'll see you next month at the date and time, please. I forget. I put you on the spot.
The 12th.
And I need a few minutes with
The 12th of February. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Second,
I'll second.
meeting adjourned at 6:42. I won't say military time, Frank.